Hello, hello there. Welcome once again to Jacqueline's Corner. This is a place where we talk about living in possibilities, where you get tools to inspire, motivate, and to empower you to be the best you that you can be. It's not just a monologue, but a place where we dialogue and we look at those things that challenge us that stop us from aspiring to be the best that we can be. There's a difference, a big difference between aspiration and actualization. And actualization, what really happens is that to actualize our dreams, to get to our greatness, we've got to transform. So that brings me to today's topic, which is transformation. Transformation connotes by itself changing something from one state to the other. And usually transformation is not a very comfortable situation. A lot of us resist transformation because we don't want change. We have conditioned ourselves to be in a complacent mode, to be in a comfort zone, and we simply don't want something that will take us out of it to something else. But the truth is this: when you want to reach up there, when you want to succeed, you must have to go through the process of transformation. Sometimes radical transformation, really. It could be the change of your thought patterns. It could be the change of your habits, naturally. It could be the change of the crowd that you run with. Because if you're running with people who are not uplifting you, then who are the people I refer to as negative Nancy's, misery likes company. The tendency is that you will be absorbing all the negative vibes, absorbing all the impossibilities, absorbing all the excuses and challenges, absorbing all the criticisms, and you limit yourself. So change sometimes can be radical, and being radical is not really a bad thing. You've got to want that thing so much that you have to push for it. The desire in you has to be burning. It's easy to sit and wish to be successful, but that won't cut it. Wishing to be successful is just a wish. It is wish plus action that gives you a reaction equals to success. It's easy to say, like me, for instance, I'll use myself. I've been on a diet for like ages. I have to be honest with myself. If I want to get from point A to B to the svelte, Jacqueline that I used to be, I have got to stop doing some things. I have got to change some habits. I have just got to adjust, and it could be radically, but it should be a lifestyle change, something that you can sustain. Now, when it comes to other goals and dreams in our lives, we have lots and lots of excuses that cause us not to achieve these things. We use our husbands as a crutch. We use our children, we use our wives, we use our job, we use all manners of excuses that we put in our own way that stops us from, pursuing our goals. Now, it's time to let go of those excuses, because those excuses actually means that you give away your power, your own accountability and responsibility to yourself, to someone else. And it's we are self-made people, and what it means to be self-made is everything you make is to make yourself. You have been born for greatness. You're on a mission. You're a vessel with a lot. But 90% of us, or even more than 90% of us, don't recognize this greatness, or we become so complacent and fail to embrace it. And we therefore limit our lives. And by the time you know it, time is gone. You look back, you're 65, you're 70, you're 80, you're 90. And then that complacent mode switches on to acceptance. Oh, well, this is it. This is what it is. I can't do better than this. And that's it. And all those God-given talents die because you are trying to belong. You are trying to fit into a clique. Listen, you have a God-given right to be an individual. You're not a prototype. You are a person, and your individuality means that you have to stand out. Fitting in is for those who can't think for themselves, and I believe that you're intelligent enough to know that thinking for yourself matters, and you're intelligent enough to know that your greatness counts, and also that the success you see others achieve only comes from certain things. There's something I've noticed that people, if you understudy people who have succeeded in what they are doing, the tenacity is there, not to give up. They don't look for the excuses. They don't give away their power and control over their lives to someone else. You know, their difficulties, but they do not take every bump in the road as a bus stop. Because there will be bumps. The children are going to be there. The husband will be there. The wife will be there. The job will be there. X, Y, Z, illnesses, so many things will come as bumps. But is that going to be your bus stop? Now, let me ask you a question, for instance. When you have children, your children and your husband, your wife, do they define who you are? You are an individual before those people, a complete human. And at some point in time, they are going to grow up. And they're going to leave you. Now, where do you fit in all this? Do you find yourself? You are you. They are just things that define, add. They are just additions, but you are you. And if you live your life or say, I'm living my life for my children, or I'm living, that's a big mistake. Because when they do leave, frustration will set in. You've lost yourself. You don't know how to find yourself again. Sometimes some people are able to pick up and start, to pick up their passion or something and start up. Then sometimes most people are not. But why waste the time when you can start now? Why plant all those excuses and sit in the couch and expect a miracle to happen? It doesn't work that way, you know. So today we're going to start looking at what is it I really want? What are those excuses and limitations that I'm putting in my way? Yes, they are there. Search. Be honest to yourself. How many excuses have you made? And how dispensable are these excuses from your life, really? And then think about all those other negative things that are not really helping your growth. Yes, they are your friends, or those your so-called friends. Some of them are called dream catchers. Why do I call them a dream catcher? They are those who will tell you, oh, it's not possible. Oh, why would you want to do this? Oh, listen, those ones you need to put them aside. Sometimes they are even family members, but unfortunately, you can't really do away with family members, but you can dilute, you can diffuse all that back talk, you know, and replace it with what matters to you. Now, your dreams shouldn't be generalistic. Your goals should be smart, specific, measurable, actualizable, realizable, and time-bound. You know, it has to be something that is, you know, it sits in the pit of your stomach. Your goal, your what you want to be. It's not just, oh, I want to be successful. In what? What is that thing you want to be successful in? You've got to identify. It's only when you've identified that goal, that is when your brain power starts working on how am I going to make this possible? And luck, there's nothing like luck, really. Luck is readiness plus opportunity. Your readiness plus opportunity will work past every day. But when your goals are so generalistic, you don't seem to know, you just want to be successful in what? Nothing. Just successful. Everything that passes becomes viable. And then you become jack of all trades and master of none. Identify your niche. Identify your strength, identify your passions, whatever it is that you think this is it for you, you know. Of course, there are also things that are probably related to those things that you're interested in. Look into them, but have specifics. That's when your brain power starts, you know, pushing in and working and looking for, because like I said in the last video, our thoughts are currents that pass in us, and they actually bring our circumstances to being. That is why we are self-made. It's our thoughts. It's not what A did outside. A could do something that annoys you, but it's your attitude towards what A did or B did or doing that matters. How you react and relate and take it and what you make out of it. So back to my train of thought thinking about your thought pattern. You've got to pinpoint that goal. What is it? What are those things? What is it that you are driving? What is it that you want to achieve, you know? Then your brain power pushes in and starts working to make it come to pass. Does that make any sense? So your transformation is an action. It's not an armchair relaxed sitting position mode. You've got to knock out the excuses. You've got to get rid of the complacency. You've got to embrace your faults, address them. You've got to also embrace who you are. But your why, you know, why do you want to do this, has to be bigger than all the excuses, because believe me, trying to achieve something is not easy. There will be 1,001 excuses on why it can't be done. When you have 1,000 excuses why you can't be done, you've got to look for 1,500 reasons why you should and why it can be done. So your why has to be bigger than those excuses, and your what, your goal, has to be specific, has to be tangible, has to be a burning desire. It can't just be, oh, I wish I was Adnan Khashoggi, or I wish I was Obama. It doesn't work that way. Anyway, I'm happy to hear from you. Thank you for listening in. Today, the little exercise, or this week rather, the little exercise I'd like you to do is to sit down, be honest with yourself. You don't have to show me or show anybody, but write out, what are those self-limiting excuses that you keep planting in your way? What are those? Make it concise, pinpoint it, like narrow it down to like 5. There's something I like about 5. When it becomes too bogus, it becomes a bit challenging. So narrow it down to like 5, you know, excuses, tangible excuses that stand in your way. And secondly, what are your goals? Pinpoint 2, 3, 4. It could be even 1. And start thinking it. Your thought process, you start marinating it over and over again and start looking at the possibilities. You know, the tendency is, especially for women, when we have children, we say, oh, I can't go back to school, or I can't do this because my child. Listen, that's crock. That's stories you're telling yourself. There are so many opportunities. There are so many chances out there that you can use to achieve and to push your potentials. Okay, fine. Let's take, for instance, your child is so young that, you know, you don't have the time. Give yourself a time frame, but you have to start planting the seeds right now. Right now. Because one day that child will grow up and be an individual and leave you. Where does that leave you? Some use the excuse of financial constraint. Listen, you can attract money by the way you think. You can regenerate yourself. You can run with so many ideas. I think we'll talk more about that at another time. But this, you know, transformation is a gradual step. You've got to start from somewhere. You've got to start getting rid of those thought patterns. You've got to start getting rid of those excuses, those habits of yours. And you've got to stop running in a clique. Hey, you are unique. That's my message to you. You are unique. Now you have to get going. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. I hope you will tune in next week for another chat. Let me know how it goes. I'm here. You can always leave a comment. For those who subscribed, I noticed the little up in the number of subscription. Thank you so much. And if you've not subscribed, please do also share this video. I'll appreciate that. Now you have a blessed week. Be good to yourself. Bye for now.